So you're taping. I don't want this cut. I want this on there. You got to catch us in our natural element.
In our natural environment. And that's here in the ring, live from the Premier Pro Wrestling Studio. The Randatorium.
The Randatorium, if you will. Fuckers.
If you will.
And I'm here happy as if I had my right mind with my sidekick, old Casey James, who claims that the honeymoon's over.
Yep, I'm sitting in the sidecar on Randy's motorcycle.
What does the honeymoon's over mean?
Well, traditionally in every marriage, after the honeymoon's over, everything goes downhill, right?
So that's how you.
Well, I guess it's the honeymoon phase. That's when you're in love and everything's rainbows, kisses and rainbows. And then when the honeymoon ends, and you have to live together all the time, then you have kids. That's when the honeymoon's over.
In our scenario, we don't have any of that.
No, we just have a pro wrestling company, which is far worse. Much more stressful.
Do you? So, did you ever have a man crush on me?
No, sir.
Never held me in that regard?
No, sir.
Who do you man crush on?
I don't really have a man. Burt Reynolds, perhaps.
Yeah, I man crush on
the
Burt
Bandit.
Reynolds.
Who doesn't?
Yeah.
Maybe. Let's see here. Maybe Paul Newman, circa Butch Cassidy and the Sundance Kid.
I would say Paul Newman, Slapshot.
Or Paul Newman, the Hustler.
Yeah,
what a sexy man, Paul Newman. God.
I wouldn't say that.
They broke the mold.
Man crush doesn't have anything to do with gayness, man.
Oh, sure it does. Paul Newman, if you're out there, I know you're not. I love you.
How do you like this sauce?
It's good. Newman's Own.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he makes a good spaghetti sauce. I don't really mess with his dressings, but actually I take that back. He has a balsamic that's pretty good. But I dig his sauces. He's got a good spaghetti sauce. He's got a good red sauce. I know he has a white sauce too. That's pretty good. An Alfredo sauce.
Yeah. Does he got a clam sauce? No, you don't. You got a clam sauce doesn't come in a can or a jar.
I don't think so.
I'm gonna say it's as good as ragu.
Oh, I'd say better than ragu. I'm more of a Prego guy myself over ragu.
Something changed. I don't like your jarred sauces anymore.
No, but if I had to pick, I would probably go Prego, Newman's Own, then ragu.
So Newman, he didn't make any money off of the sauces. He donated it.
It's all donated, yeah. From what I understand. His charitable foundation.
You're watching the Randcast preview. It's the Premier Pro Wrestling's version of a podcast. We got a pimp. Please subscribe to our Patreon. The $2 tier gets you this Randcast uninterrupted, commercial free, as this is the preview. The $4 tier gets you the Randcast commercial free, ad free, along with our main events from every Saturday night from inside this ring, inside the Randatorium. We tape wrestling every Saturday night. Then we tape Christmas night.
Christmas Day night, baby.
And
also New Year's Day.
New Year's Day
and Christmas night, yeah.
When you say every Saturday, you got to do every Saturday. Mm-hmm. At least in my book, use kids today, I don't think you guys keep your word like that. But anyway, then the $6 tier gets you the aforementioned and our big monthly taping. And our next monthly taping, you're going to luck out again because it's going to be a double shot. So you're going to have twice the matches to the King Kong Bundy Memorial Tournament. Right. Premier Pro Wrestling is your home or will be your home. For the love of God, please make it your home for original concepts in today's wrestling industry where everybody's doing the same things, having the same matches. They all look the same, and they're all doing the same moves and high spots because they don't have a clue. Used to be able to say that this poor guy, God bless him, he smells it, but he can't find it. These fucking guys today can't even smell it.
Smells like shit, boss.
We talk about a lot of shit, as you could see. We fucking our sauces from the store, and what sucks is here we are, north of Chicago. This used to be the Italian haven up in this area. Not one decent Italian place up here. Tell me one decent Italian place, Ian.
I don't know the name of it, but it's in McHenry. I'll find it and I'll send it to you.
Please do, because we used to have one in every fucking town. Some of them were too gone. They're all gone.
Too, they give you the bread with the olive oil.
Oh yeah, and the cheese.
And they bring out wine.
That's because the first generation off the boat worked hard, and their kids are screwing it up. So
Yeah.
there's no one to pass it on to.
Yeah, yeah.
The kids end up tanking the business and with a bad coke habit. That's generally what happens.
And entitled, or entitled.
Right.
I was
Yeah,
just
because they had everything
telling-
handed to them because their parents worked hard.
Yeah, I was just telling my folks today, the thing that the things that people used to love me for about my personality, they fucking hate me today for it. Mm-hmm. You know, and I do a lot of changing and soul searching. At the end of the day, all the things I've worked on, whatever's left, I got to learn to love at some point. So fuck all y'all, I ain't changing. You know, I'm not going to be an asshole. I'm not going to justify my behavior, but my core personality suck a fart out of my ass. The other thing they love me for, now they hate me for, and it started in the 90s, 2000s, is where I've been and what I've done for my age. You know, I can't tell you how many guys came through here like acting like I made it up. You know, like I made it up about the fact that I gave Punk his first handful of matches where they got to fact check him at the Comic-Cons. You know, you got something on that? Oh, and the motherfucker does. You know what I mean? I know my industry. You know, I've been in the wrestling industry for at least 30, probably 35 years, maybe more by now. Maybe more, around 35 years. Anyway, I was in the industry as a young man who was sober. So, not that I didn't get in any trouble and have any fun, mind you. Mm-hmm. But I was able to absorb and retain everything I saw, learned from the inside of the ring out. And I pass it on to the guys that associate with me or train with me, like this one over here. You know, well, fuck, what did you do? What have you accomplished?
Oh, you know, a little of this, a little of that. I did all right for myself, you know. I worked for WWE for 5 years. Well, here's the biggest thing I would say is that pretty much the entire time I was in the pro wrestling industry, that's how I supported myself. Yeah. Sure, I got to travel the world, and I'm lucky, you know, at the very least, that's what I got to take away from it was, I got to do things I would have never done if I had not gotten into this industry. I got to see the world pretty much.
Yep.
And, on top of that, which most people can't say, that the entire time I was in the industry, that's how I made my living. I didn't have to do anything else. So
for most of
basically getting to do your dream job and actually being able to support yourself, I would consider it a successful career. Yeah. I got to travel. I got to do and see things I would have never done, had I not worked in this industry, and I was able to support myself. So, that's the way I look at it. It's not so much who I worked or what I did or this house or that house. Exactly. That's the big picture for me. The relationships, the people, not just in the business, but outside the business, the people I got to meet, the places I got to go, the things I got to see, and being able to just do that. I'm beyond grateful for that. No regrets.
Yeah, so at the end of the day, it's taken some time for our Randcast and Premier Pro to take off, but the bottom line to it is emotional stability, emotional strength, and the fact that we don't have to sell ourselves to you. Met this kid when he was 19, and he just told you he lived pro wrestling. He supported himself for half of his adult life, and he's 40 now. Almost 40, sorry.
No, I'm 40. I'm 40.
Yeah, you're 40?
Yeah. I'm not going to fade my age.
I
feel like
you
want to know
39.
why. You want to know why? Because most people, it's to my advantage because I don't look 40. So I tell people I'm 40. I probably could say, hey, I'm 35, and people would believe it.
Yeah.
I'm not putting myself over.
No.
That's what people, they're usually shocked when they find out I'm 40. So that's kind of like, oh, wow, he looks good for 40. So I don't mind saying I'm 40 now.
Yeah.
Now, when I'm 45, that may change. I may become 40 again.
It's going to fly. It's going to fly.
I might become 40 again.
It's going to fly now.
Yeah.
But anyway, what we're going to do today is we're also, I'm going to say it again, and You form good habits, become a slave to them. One of the greatest hitters in the history of baseball, America's pastime, Teddy Williams said, hit them where they ain't. So the podcast is going to be us shooting from the cup, talking from the hip. I'm not going to go out in the direction, and I'm tired of talking about the current haps and the drama. Now, we'll disprove some stuff here and there, because wrestling is the wrestling period, the internet wrestling community, the kayfabe sheets. They're the originators of fake news. I honestly believe that your fake news has looked at them and said, well, they get away with it. Let's give it a try. You know, and you get away with so much with this fake stuff, and nobody ever holds you accountable. But we're going to shoot from the hip, and the bottom line to it is we know our industry. You know, the biggest thing we're centered around is training. Everybody that we use is trained by us organically from the beginning, or has our thumbprint and influence on them, you know? And you're going to see they're fucking the hardest workers that I'm aware of, even at some levels with AEW. Maybe not WWE, because just to keep a job there, you better fucking hustle, you know? But that's what we want to train. The other thing is there's some training schools out there that are just, I don't know how they get you guys to believe they're bullshit. They've never been anywhere, done anything. So that being said, who do you want to go to get a fucking brain surgery or open heart surgery, the fucking backyarder or a fucking expert, the professional, the best in the industry? You know what I mean? Don't understand it, but things are going to change. They can't exist this way forever, because it always happens, and I've seen this happen, where they just fade away, man. At the end of the day, they finally got to accept the losses. They finally got to accept their conscience catches up with them. You know what I mean? And the fact that there's us, and then there's the idiots. That's it. You know? And we're going to parlay that term idiot. I popped a couple of people with that.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, we got to come up with a shirt. Don't be an effing idiot, or something like that. You know, and see what happens, because we're going to find a shirt that really sells too. Mm-hmm. But either way, we appreciate your support. We appreciate it more than you know. Even like, subscribe. But the way we're going to stay in business is to get you to buy product. So fuck with Pro Wrestling Tees, Premier Pro Wrestling Tees. Redbubble, we got one shirt up there only because it was too controversial for Pro Wrestling Tees. They wouldn't let us put it up. I Stand With Punk. That's on Redbubble, Premier Pro Wrestling Redbubble. Did I say support us on Patreon? Yeah. Like and subscribe, and give us a Rumble, or follow us on Rumble. Soon, we got Fridays coming up soon, so that's going to be something. I can't wait to hear all the naysaying and doubting about that stuff, but what we're doing here, and I, like you said, I think we're the only ones. I think people do tape once a month or something, but they don't have what we have here, and we call it the Randatorium, but it's our training facility and studio where we actually tape wrestling every Friday night. Soon we're going to be taping wrestling on Friday nights too, and believe me, we're the only ones that are going to be able to come up with a way to spill them together, but also make them both their own brands at the same time, you know? And, you know, it's been done before in the industry. A lot of you guys don't know this, but the Sportatorium, Dallas, Texas, World Class Championship Wrestling used to tape Fridays for the local television in Dallas in the Sportatorium, and Saturdays for ESPN in the Sportatorium. And another one off the top of my head, wrestling was huge with the Guerreros and a young Roddy Piper in Los Angeles at the Olympic Auditorium. They would tape wrestling there Wednesdays and Friday nights. We're in Chicago. Chicago is a great wrestling base beyond this internet crap. We're talking about the people that actually go to the Horizon and fucking fill that place up every time Vince comes here. Chicago has always been, at least for the last 10 years, maybe 20, World Wrestling Entertainment's within top 3 areas to run. So it's just a matter of time. And when you're starting off on a shoestring budget, literally no money, all sweat equity, it takes time. But the best part about that is nobody owns you, you know. At the end of the day, I've seen a lot of horrible things, and I predicted those horrible things. First, when the Extreme Wrestling Federation, you know, I lost a very good friend over that thing failing. and somebody else financing it in what they call the money mark, and then even worse with TNA Impact. And I told people it was coming 3 years before it did, and it unfolded exactly the way I said it was. So I learned my lesson about being owned, However, my mind is always open to angels and venture capitalists. But the bottom line to it is I need somebody that doesn't get that in their mind and sees wrestling as a business and stays in their lane. I would never figure out and try to run somebody's venture capitalist or an angel investors because I don't know anything about that. I don't know finance. This is my shit, Never been a mark for myself. You can ask this one who's known me for 20 years. I do what's best for business. And the last person I'm going to put over, and I'm talking about all these indies all over the country, not just Chicago, who's the biggest offender, is these old farts that couldn't cut it anywhere else, so they start their own company, and everybody's function is one way, shape, or form going to end up being to put over that idiot, that can't make it anywhere else. I don't do that. I do what's best for business because it is a business. All right, subscribe. Now we're going to cut the commercial and ad-free for Patreon.